Hi everyone, this is Lisa Mendoza and I have a new video for you. This time we're going to be going over my planner inserts for any of you who are interested in purchasing and downloading them from my website, which is lisalovestudio.com. I wanted to do a walkthrough of how I designed them and how I print, cut, and put them into my planner, because this can be a real headache. I'm going to explain it the way I do it, which is unconventional, because I feel like the conventional way just leaves so much room for error, and I've just become so frustrated that I decided to do things a little different. And I'm hoping this is going to help you. So let's go ahead and get started. So for those of you who have already purchased the B6 wide insert, I want to let you know that an update will be coming tonight, because we're going to do this a little bit different and unconventional, and I realized that my online listing does not correspond with the way I print my inserts. So I'm going to have to modify a little bit and make sure that what I do here at home is what you're going to be able to do at your house. Okay, so there will be an update to the file coming soon, and I'm going to explain what that file is going to look like. So I'm going to explain it here physically, and then I'm going to go over to my computer and go over some things in Adobe PDF Reader. Okay, so let's just start by taking a look at my planner. Okay, I know you guys have seen it in videos, but I just want you to see it again, so we can explain the parts that are going to be available on your download if you purchase them from my website. So these I have created myself. I have kind of determined what's needed for my life and the way that I plan. So it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But if you do like the way I plan and you want to use the inserts that I created for myself that weren't originally intended to sell, but so many of you have asked for it that I went ahead and put them on my website, then you'll want to go ahead and watch this video. All right, so what we have here is we have, let me remove these Dutch doors. So this part right here, we're gonna call a Dutch door daily. Okay, so these are daily pages. I created them with a 1.5 wide vertical panel going down here, so you could use your 1.5 inch wide stickers from Erin Condren, Happy Planner, and all of that. And then we have some lined area here for journaling or writing more appointments or whatever you want to do in this section, even just plopping down some stickers and washi. Anyway, so these are the Dutch door daily inserts. Okay, so these get inlaid into a week spread that looks like this. Okay, and this week spread has a week at a glance up at the top. Okay, I know there are only 6 boxes instead of 7, so for your weekend you're going to double up Saturday and Sunday. Okay, and then you have a large decorative box on your left hand side. I love this box because you can do whatever you want. You can stamp in it, you can put decorative paper, you can make a fold up like I did. I did a lot in August, like I did here. Okay, so that's what I did with my decorative box there. I did it the whole time, the whole month, because it just came out so cute. So you can have extra space for journaling, adding pictures or whatever for that week. So that's what I've been doing lately, but I do all kinds of different things. Anyway, and then you're going to have on your right-hand side, you're going to have 2 lists, okay? You have 2 lists. So this is considered a 1-week spread, and then we take the dailies and we nest them within that 1 week. We nest them like this, and it becomes a 7-day week of dailies. Okay, and they'll look like this. Let me just show you. Okay, so week at a glance, decorative box. This would be Monday, or whenever you want to start your week, actually. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And then when you turn to the end of your week, you'll end up with 2 more lists to make 4 lists. Okay, and I actually use 5 lists. So this list here, I cut in half. I make labels for them, which reminds me, I'm going to make a note. because I want to put this label template on my website for you to download as well, in case you want to make your custom labels for these. So I'll create a silhouette cut file for that. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. For list labels. Okay, let me show you what my labels look like. They look like this. And I print them in different colors to match my my decorating for the week. But see, I have my husband's to-dos, and then I have 2 adult children. So anything I need to remind them of, like, hey, your DMV registration is due, or, you know, whatever, I write here just things that I need to remind them. And then I have my crafting list, because I'm a full-time crafter. And then my to-dos, this is more like errands and kind of things that I need to get done this week. And then I have my shopping list, whether it be groceries or household items or fun planning stuff, fun planning supplies. So that's how I use my lists, but you may want to do it however you want to do it. You may, if you have small children in school or whatever, you may want to have one column for each of them. You know, something like that. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a template for you to download, where you're going to be able to make these stickers and call them whatever you want if you have a cutting machine. And even if you don't have a cutting machine, these can be easily cut by hand since they're all straight lines. Okay, so I just wanted to add a note for me to do that. So these lists you can use however you want. And that is how I have my planner set up. And this is set up for 1 week. Okay, so now let's talk, now that we know the parts, we know that these are dailies and that this part here is the weekly. Okay, the weekly and the dailies. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the files that you receive when you download them from my website. You're going to receive 3 different files. One is going to be called 4 weeks. One is going to be called 5 weeks. And then one is going to be called dailies. You're going to have 3 different files. Okay? So the reason why we have a 4-week and a 5-week printable is because each month within the year has either 4 weeks or 5 weeks in it. And I wanted to make sure that when we print, we have a blank page for the beginning of the month, and you can add a sticker like I did here. You could stamp November, or you can do whatever you want on your front page. It's blank. And then we start the week spread. So this would be considered 1 week. Okay. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then the month ends. As you can see, in November, we have 4 weeks. So I just counted 4 weeks, and then there's a blank page. If there were 5 weeks in the month, that printable has 1 more week that you print before it goes to a blank page to end the month. Okay, so that's why we have it set up that way. So what you're going to want to do is, depending on when you set up, when you want to start using this planner, say if you purchase it now and you want to start in August, since that's quickly approaching, then what I do is I take a Happy Planner or an Erin Condren, or, you know, a pre-printed planner, and I look at it and I count how many weeks they have within each of their months, because they're professionals and they know what they're doing. So instead of looking at a calendar like this and trying to determine how many weeks are in the month, since not all 30 or 31 days fit within a month, sometimes you have some trailing off in the previous month or trailing into the next month. So the way I do it is I just look at a printed planner and I determine how many weeks they have printed within their month. And I've written it down here for you. So August has 4 weeks, September has 4, October has 5 weeks, November has 4, and December has 5 weeks. So write that down. That way you know which files you need to print. So if I were printing August through the rest of the year, I would go ahead and print 3 of the 4-week inserts and 2 of the 5-week inserts. And then the way I would determine how many daily inserts to print is to add this up. Okay, so we have 10, 18, 22. So we have 22 weeks between August and December. Did I do that right? 8. Yeah. Okay. So I know I will need to, just to reiterate, I'll need to print 3 of the 4-week printable, 2 of the 5-week printable, and 22 of the daily printable. Okay? Because each daily printable contains 1 week. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm going to write that down, and then I'll go into the cutting and printing process. Now that I have that written down, now that we understand the parts of our planner, we can go ahead and I'm going to talk a little bit about the unconventional way that I print my inserts. Okay, so what I do, and call me crazy. Okay, so where does this go? Where do these inserts go? I think they go... I have a blackout insert in October because I want to remember to use it for Halloween, so just disregard that. Okay, so this is, hold on just a second. This goes here. Okay, so what's going to happen, we're just going to take September, for example, and I'm going to over-explain all of this, okay? So just bear with me. I'm going to over-explain it because I'd rather over-explain it than under-explain it. Okay, so for September, we know we have 4 weeks. So this is what you would consider, this is what we're gonna consider the 4-week insert. And it's gonna print just like this, blank page, and then 4 weeks, and then a blank page. And then you're gonna have your 4 weeks that you're gonna print, your 4 times the dailies inserts, and then these are gonna go in between each week to form your Dutch doors. All right. Now let's talk about cutting and printing. So what I do, and call me crazy, is instead of printing on a letter size paper and then cutting, what I do is I cut first and then I print. Okay, so that's the unconventional part. So what I'm gonna do is I purchase a ream of Hammermill 32-pound paper. I'll go ahead and I'll link it below for you guys to make it easy. And I go over to FedEx office, that 24-hour shipping place, or you can go to Staples or Office Depot or something like that. You may want to call ahead and make sure that they have a commercial cutting machine. So I take a ream of paper and I tell them, okay, I need this ream of paper cut down to this size. Okay, and they will do it for you. And I believe it's like at the most $2 a cut. So you take a whole ream of 250 sheets or 500 sheets. Each one cut is only $2. You know what I mean? They can cut the whole stack with just 2 cuts, really, actually. So it'll cost you under $5 to have it cut down to this size. Okay, then you'll have a whole stack of beautiful planner paper that's cut down to this size right here. And again, I'll add the dimensions below, but I do know it is 7 inches tall. And it's actually, I think it's 5.375 inches wide, by 7 inches tall. So that's what you're going to have them cut them down as. Then you're going to have a whole bunch of paper this size, this cute little size. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and go into the printables, and we're going to print using this size paper. And the reason why I do this, you can go ahead and think, no, I'd rather just print on the letter size paper and then trim it down to the size it needs to be. I don't recommend that, and this is why. Because when a printer duplexes, and duplexes means prints on both sides of a paper, it's never center. I have 3 different printers here. I have a Canon TS9521C craft printer, which is an excellent printer. And when it does duplex printing, it's not accurate. It's close enough, but if you're anything like me and you want these margins to be decent, okay, you don't want to use duplex printing. And you don't want to use a full-size sheet of paper and expect it to print center on both sides, because it's most likely not going to happen. I have a phaser, a Xerox phaser laser, a 6510 behind me, and I have a Brother monochrome laser also behind me, and all 3 of these guys do not print center when doing duplex printing. So I avoid that completely. I use the correct size. That way when I run it through the printer, it prints center each time, because it's not duplex printing and it's not being cut down after I print. Instead, it's being cut down first, and then I print onto that size piece of paper. And the way I've designed this, I've designed it so that the margins will work on standard printers. Not to say that it's going to work on every single printer, but it works on any of the 3 that I use. So, all right. So now that I've explained that, we'll go ahead and we'll go to the computer. And now it's time to kind of explain how we print things. So we've already determined how many weeks we need to print, how many dailies we need to print, and we've had our paper cut down or not. Okay, so you can do it either way, but I'm just warning you, if you don't cut it down, you may run into some problems that I can't help with. That's all I can say about that. But anyway, okay, so what you're going to receive when you purchase and download these inserts is, again, we're working with B6 rings only. Again, you can put it's a B6 wide size, so it's 7 inches tall by 5¼ wide. We're just going to say 5¼ because that's the safest way to go. Anyway, so what you're going to receive is you're going to receive a folder with files for letter-sized paper. So this is actually going to print in spreads, as you can kind of see in this preview. Let me expand this for you. Okay, so you can see in this preview, this is for 4 weeks, okay, and it's a spread with some blank pages for the beginning and the end of the month, okay. And then you have a 5-week spread, same thing, only for 5 weeks, and then you have dailies, which are 1 week worth of dailies, okay, and these are spreads because there are 2 pages on 1 sheet. Okay, so that's if you're using letter size paper. I recommend that you pre-cut B6 wide paper, okay, just as I explained earlier in the video. If you pre-cut, then you're going to go to the folder called pre-cut B6 wide paper, and you're going to have similar file names, only they're going to be a single sheet, so it's not going to be a spread with 2 sheets on one. It's going to be just single sheets like you're seeing here. Here's the left hand side of the planner, and then the right hand side of the planner, and then you put the dailies in between this, okay. So this is the route that I prefer to go, and then here are your Dutch door dailies, which need to be trimmed at the top, but it's not a big deal, just like I explained it earlier. Okay, so what we're going to do is say I were printing August, that's a 4-week month. So I'm going to go here to 4 weeks, and I'm going to open this up. Okay. So it looks like it's blank, but it's not. Looks like a blank sheet, but that first sheet is blank. Okay. And then intentionally blank. And then we have this page, and then this page, and this is just 4 weeks, a month with 4 weeks in it. And like I said, starts and begins with a blank page. So it'll create kind of like a booklet. Okay, so again, we have our paper cut down, 5¼ inches wide by 7 inches tall. We're going to put that on our printer. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and select print. Okay, now I would maybe print these on my inkjet. Let's just say we're going to print it on the inkjet on the Canon. And then I want them to be actual size. Now you'll see the document is 5¼ by 7 inches tall. That's exactly what we want. However, my printer is saying our printer paper is 8½ by 11, so we'll want to change that. So I'm going to go to page setup, and then I'm going to go to my Canon. And I have a preset already set up here. See this B6 wide? It says 5¼ by 7, B6 wide. Okay. If you don't have this set up, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set it up. Now, I work on a Mac, and I cannot explain it for Windows because I don't use Windows, and I haven't used Windows for decades. I'm sure if I had to explain it, I could figure it out, but I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, so we're just going to work with Mac for now, and then you'll have to interpret it for your Windows platform if you need to. So anyway, if I didn't have this preset paper size, I would go to Manage Custom Sizes, and then I would add a new size. Okay, and it's going to add it to the bottom here. And then I would title this, B6 wide, which is 5.25 by 7 inches. Okay, I already have that in there, so I don't know if it'll let me do it again. But anyway, and then what I'm going to do is the width is going to be 5.25. This is just setting up the custom paper size, and the height is going to be 7 inches. And then the margins, because I'm using my Canon, it's going to be all zeroed out. So I don't know why this defaults like this, but I'm going to change this again. 5.25 by 7 inches tall. Okay. And then I would say okay, and that's how I create a custom paper size. I like to do that because it just makes my life easier. Okay, so, and then when I go to page setup, I'll be able to choose my printer, and then I'll be able to see that paper size right here, 5.25 by 7, B6 wide paper size. Okay, and then I'm going to say okay. So now this has changed. The document is now the same size as the printable, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. I know we're looking at a blank page preview here, but if I go over to the next sheet, you can kind of see the rest of the planner. Okay, so don't be fooled by that blank page. I'm going to print actual size, and I don't want to do duplex printing because it just doesn't print accurately. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to more options, okay? And then I'm going to print the odd or the even pages first, whichever you want to do. I probably would go with the odd first. So I want to do odd pages only. So it's just single-sided printing. I'm not printing on both sides of the paper as indicated right here. If I clicked here, it would print on both sides. I don't want to, because for me, it creates havoc and it doesn't print right on center. But if I do it like this, it does. So I'm printing odd pages only. Then I'm going to flip those over in my printer, and then I'm going to print even pages only. And then there I go, I have my month. Okay, it's that easy. I really recommend this method. I've done it both ways, and I just really recommend this. If you want to go the other route, go for it. But this is what I recommend. Okay, so that's how I would do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my dailies right here, Dutch Door Dailies for 1 week. If I open that up, and then since we're working with a 4-week month for August, then I would want to print this 4 times. Okay, so let me cancel that. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and go to print here. I'm going to change my printer. Oops, wrong one. Okay, and then the paper size, I'm going to go to page setup. I'm going to choose my printer. I'm going to choose my paper size, which I have preset up, which will be 6 wide. Say okay, okay, perfect. And then this time I'm going to print 4 copies. Okay, and I can't remember, do I collate? Yes, make sure you collate actual size. You're not printing on both sides. Instead, you're going to do odd pages, and then you're going to do even pages, okay? And then what's going to happen is then you're going to want to cut off a portion of this planner paper. And if it's, I'll tell you, hold on, I'll tell you right now how much you cut off. Because it's not indicated on there, but I kept my scraps because I use them as scratch paper, and so I know exactly how big they are. So hold on just a second. So you're going to cut off 2 inches off the top. So it's 7 inches, you're going to cut it down to 5 inches, okay? And then you're ready to go. So that's how I do it. I hope I explained it well for you. Otherwise, just ask me questions below and I'll be happy to help as much as I can. Again, if you're on a Windows platform, I really can't help much, and I'm so sorry. But that is that. And then if you are printing on letter-sized paper, then you would open these, and these have crop marks. So you can go ahead and print these. They have crop marks, and you're just going to follow those crop marks, okay? And then it's going to get cut in half here down the middle. I found this to be much more troublesome. So just take that as a note and a word of advice from me, the creator of these printables. They're just so difficult to print duplex. But anyways, unless you're not as finicky as me. If you're not as finicky as me and you don't need them perfectly aligned to center to the page with perfect margins, go this route because it is going to shift slightly. I would say about 1/8 of an inch. So you can go this route if you want to as well. All right. I hope that helps you guys. Happy planning, and thank you so much for supporting my shop and my work by purchasing the downloads. If you've done so, whenever there's an update to any of these files as I improve them, you will automatically get an email to download the updates. So if you ever see something like that, that just means I made a little tweak, and hopefully it's something that's going to make your life easier. So we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.